Hey everyone, my name is Hafiz. As requested, in this video I will show you how to play your Super Nintendo games on your Nintendo DS, 2DS, 3DS without modding your console. If you are new to the channel, do consider subscribing to this channel. It is free and it will really help the channel grow. Thank you. The Super Famicom, also known as the Super Nintendo in North America and in Europe, is a 16-bit 4th generation home video game console developed by Nintendo. The Super Famicom was released in 1990 and is a successor to the popular Famicom, also known as the Super Nintendo Entertainment System or NES. It was discontinued in 2003 and there was a total of 1,757 games that were created for the system. Some popular games for the system include Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Mario Kart, Star Fox, F-Zero, Final Fight and many more. The Super Famicom is the 10th most sold home video game console in history, selling over 49 million units worldwide. This method will work for your Nintendo DS, 2DS, 3DS and new 3DS without modding your console, as we'll be using the R4 Gold Flashcard. If you are not sure how to set up your R4 Gold card, check the link on the top right or the description below to see how you can set up your R4 Gold card. For this method, you will need an R4 Gold card, SD card between 8 to 64 GB, which is more than enough to fit about 1000 Super Nintendo games. SD card adapter to connect to your PC. For this tutorial, I will be using the Windows PC, but it will work the same way for Mac and Linux. All product links in the description below for you to check out. Alright, use the second link in the description to download SNES for R4 or 3DS. The file will be in zip format, so you will need 7-zip or WinRAR to extract the file. Here I have downloaded it onto my desktop. Double click on the file and extract the content onto your desktop. Here I'm using WinRAR. Select the file and drag it onto your desktop. Now go ahead and delete your zip file since we won't be needing it anymore. Open up the SNES folder. There are 3 files in the folder. SNESMULDS.NDS is the emulator that we'll be using. I've also included 2 ROM hacks for you to check out, Final Fight and Super Mario World ROM hack. If you have more ROMs, copy the ROMs into this folder. ROMs are digital backup copies of your physical games. Super Famicom and Super Nintendo ROMs will have either a SMC or SFC file format. I can tell you where to get the ROMs from. You can either use a dumper to dump the file from the original cartridge, or you can just do a simple Google search for Super Famicom ROMs. Here I have some ROMs of some popular games such as F-Zero, Power Ranger, and I've also included some FX games such as Doom and Star Fox, which we'll test out in this simulator. Select this ROM, copy and paste it onto the SNES folder. Next, insert your SD card into your computer. My memory card is named NDS R4 on the E drive, but yours could be different. I have other emulators on my memory card. Check out the NDS playlist in the description below to see how you can install other emulator and homebrews onto your R4 card. Alright, copy the SNES folder from your desktop into the root of the SD card. In my case will be the E drive. Once it's done copying, right click and safely eject your SD card from your computer. Next, take out your SD card from your computer and insert it into your R4 card. Do ensure that the SD card is pushed all the way in. Turn on the Nintendo DS and run the R4 card. It will take you to the R4 menu. Now go into the game section and now open the YS menu by pressing A. Scroll down to SNES and open up the SNEMULDS.NDS by pressing A. Give it some time to load. It will be slower on your first boot. Once it is done, it will take you to the ROM section. These are all the ROMs that has been transferred over. Scroll down and select A to load the ROMs. Let's play one of my favorite beat 'em up game, Captain Commandos. The game loads well and the sound is in sync. The default button config is mapped just like in the SNES. There is this white bar at the bottom. This is because the aspect ratio for SNES is larger than the Nintendo DS. Let's change the display setting. For this emulator, each game may require a different display setting config. For Captain Commando, this seems to work best. Tap on the option button at the bottom screen. Next, tap the screen layout option. Set the HUD to normal, while scroll to bottom and set the scaling to no scaling. Some games will require a different setting. Play around with the setting to see what works for you. Once you are done, press A and it will take you back to the game. Let's do some save state. Some games on the SNES such as Captain Commando do not have a save function. This emulator has a built-in save-in function so that you can save your game at any time. Tap on the save state function at the bottom screen. Select the slot and press A to save. Loading saves. Tap on the load state button at the bottom screen. Select the slot and press A to load the state. Now we are back at where we last saved. Loading a new game. Tap on the select ROM on the bottom screen. Select the ROM and press A to load the ROM. Let's load the Final Fight. Final Fight is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game released on the SNES in 1991. Similar to Captain Commando, this game also took place in Metro City in the 1980s. A good game to check out for the SNES is F-Zero. Released in 1981, the game objective is to beat your opponent to the finishing line while avoiding hazardous obstacles and magnets that pulls the vehicles off center in an effort to push the vehicle off the track. This game is exciting and it has one of the best soundtracks for the SNES. Another very popular SNES game is Donkey Kong Country. This game has been known to be quite demanding to run on low-powered hardware. The game boots up well and the sound is in sync, but as you can see there are some lines across the screen which indicates that the emulator is not fully able to run this game. Another of my favorite game that I find having issue loading is the Power Ranger Fighting Edition. Everything boots up perfectly and the sound is in sync at first. But then once you start fighting, the emulation will break down and it will crash after a while. Next, let's test out some Super FX games. Super FX games are games with special chips in the cartridge which helps to render 3D polygon and advanced 2D effect. There are two types of Super FX games, the Super FX and the Super FX 2, which is a more demanding game to render. Let's try and load Star Fox. Scroll down to Star Fox and press A to load. It loads up to the white screen and there are some sound playing at the background, but sadly this game cannot be played on the NDS. Let's try playing this on the 3DS instead since it has a better hardware. So select Star Fox and press A. There's a white screen and the sound plays, but sadly it cannot be run on this 3DS as well. Let's try Super Mario World 2 Yoshi Island. Will it work? Select the game and press A. This game will not even load. It will eventually crash your NDS after a while. I definitely won't recommend this. The last Super FX game that we will try is Doom. Select the game and press A. Just like the other Super FX game, this game will load to a white screen and there will be sound but it will not play. If you want to play Doom on the Nintendo DS, I would recommend playing the Game Boy Advance version using the Game Boy Advance emulator. Click the link in the top right to see how you can play Game Boy Advance on your NDS without modding your console. And there you go guys, that's how you play a Super Nintendo games on your 3DS, 2DS and NDS without modding your console. And to conclude, FX game will not run on this emulator as the hardware is not strong enough to help with the graphic rendering. With that, as always, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe everybody.